Welcome back to the light. This is part 9 and the final part in our series of the readout of the official probable cause court documents in the case of Rebecca Park. Thank you for being with me through this whole thing. So let's finish up. We're going to dive right back into where we left off. Courtney admits that she told Rebecca she was going to come with her. She places herself in the truck on the passenger side. Rebecca is in the middle and Bradley is driving. Bradley has the knife according to her. From the house, they drove to where Bradley ended up stabbing Rebecca. She claimed not to know Rebecca was going to die that night. Courtney places Bradley across South 21 and a half Road from their house as she is arriving with Rebecca. Courtney admits she knows something is going to go down because Bradley is on foot across the road waiting for them to arrive. She reported that Bradley approached the vehicle by just walking up on her side, grabbed Rebecca by the arm, and got her out of the escape, and she willingly gets into the pickup to go for a ride after he told Rebecca, quote, "Your mom's going with us." From the house, they drive to where Rebecca gets stabbed. Courtney said that Bradley told Rebecca to get out of the truck while Courtney stayed inside. Rebecca is taken to the rear of the truck where Bradley stabbed her. At first, she said she assumed that he stabbed Rebecca because he came back with the knife all bloody. When Detective Sergeant Voss asked Courtney at what point did she cut the baby out of Rebecca, she answered, quote, "I didn't. He did. And he handed him to me." Courtney also said the baby wasn't breathing and she didn't hear him cry. Courtney claimed to have never gotten out of the truck because she didn't have her crutches or her wheelchair. She again claimed that this was a revenge plot because she had a sexual relationship with Rich and because Rich got Bradley put in jail. She claimed that Bradley wanted to hurt Rich. When confronted with the report that she stabbed Rebecca while driving down the road, Courtney denied it. When asked how all the blood got in the truck, she answered that it was from the knife, then suggested that Rebecca got back in the truck. Eventually, Courtney admitted that she cut the baby out of Rebecca in an attempt to save him so she could take him to Rich. When she cut the baby out, Courtney said that Rebecca was still conscious and Bradley was holding the knife to her throat. She told Rebecca to lay back, quote, "Your baby is gonna die." Courtney denied that Rebecca had been stabbed while in the truck. Revisiting the driveway, Detective Sergeant Voss asked if Bradley held the knife to her throat to get her into the truck, and Courtney nodded her head in the affirmative, meaning yes. While in the truck, Bradley put the knife down by his left side. During the ride, Detective Sergeant Voss asked what is said to Rebecca, and Courtney said she told her everything is going to be okay. Courtney said she promised that Bradley wasn't going to hurt her. When they got to the area where this happens, Bradley pulled Rebecca out of the truck and he spun her around and stabbed her in the back, quote, 4 or 5 times. Bradley brings Rebecca to her side of the truck and is sitting next to the door, and Bradley ordered Rebecca to lay back. Courtney said she told Rebecca that if she doesn't lay back, her baby is going to die. Courtney, quote, looked in the truck and saw the scalpel, so she hurried up and did it, but her grandson wasn't breathing. Courtney said she started her incision along her belly and Bradley told her to cut downward. It would be easier. Courtney reported that Rebecca is still talking at this time, telling her to hurry up and asking if he is out. She said she told Rebecca he was about out and that Rebecca told her to save him. When she got the baby out, Courtney said she had dental floss from the dash that she had put in her pocket because she knew she would have to tie off the umbilical cord. She reported tying off the umbilical cord the best that she could. Once the baby was out, she said that Bradley slit Rebecca's throat with the knife. Next, she said that Bradley used a cord from the snowplow on the truck to hook her body to the truck, and he pulled Rebecca down the bank, quote, maybe 20 feet, pulling her back and off the road. She said he then covered her with leaves. Courtney said the towel was in the truck already, but she didn't know how the scalpel got into the truck. Courtney talked about how she would have come to the sheriff's office if she had been able to give the baby to Rich to report what happened. Discussing this, she claims that since this happened, she hasn't been able to get away from Bradley. When reminded that on Monday she was in Mount Pleasant and he was in Grayling, she could have said something then. Courtney confirmed that after she was stabbed, Rebecca never got back in the truck. She was asked how the blood got into the truck, and Courtney reported that it was from the umbilical cord making blood fly all over. Courtney said she never stabbed Rebecca. She was only responsible for trying to save her grandson. When asked if she thought she should have tried to save her daughter, Courtney said she couldn't. When asked how many times she talked to Bradley on the ride to her house from Rich's, she reported it was only once. She identified she had the 429 phone and that the call they had lasted about 10 minutes. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Courtney with the 2 incisions she admitted to having made to remove the baby, he asked her if she thinks Rebecca would have survived those wounds. She said, quote, "No, probably not." Courtney admitted that about 1 to 2 months prior to this having happened, Bradley researched the procedure for getting a baby out. Courtney said that Bradley put the items in the dumpster, but she was present in the Ford Escape for both. Courtney is asked whose idea it was to leave items at the crime scene, and she said it was Brad's. She then identified that the items were Kimberly's debit card and a razor knife. Courtney reported those items were placed after Kimberly went on social media saying that Courtney and Bradley were responsible for the purpose of framing Kimberly. When pressed on the debit card, Courtney said it belonged to James Mercer, not Kimberly, and the card came from Kimberly's backpack. She said he used one of the plastic bags from her backpack to keep from getting his fingerprints on it. These items were suspected to have been placed by Bradley the day before Rebecca's body was recovered. She said he left with the Escape that day for about 20 minutes. Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked Courtney to provide some information that isn't already known that can verify her statements, and she reported, quote, "Brad said it was his," in reference to Rebecca's baby. Now, when it is questioned that they don't like each other, Courtney said, quote, "Yes, they do." Revisiting the conversation she had with Bradley a month prior about C-sections, she reported that he looked it up on his phone. When asked why they were having that discussion, Courtney answered, quote, "Because that's what he said was going to happen." She said he told her he was going to cut the baby out of Rebecca right in front of Rich. Courtney said she brushed it off. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker commented on Courtney's story about having delivered a premature baby that was down in the NICU, she denied it and suggested it was a friend's baby that she was thinking about giving up. As she is being confronted with the obviousness that there was a plan for this to happen, Courtney said that Bradley had told her to pull straight in, but she didn't. She turned the corner in her driveway instead. Questioning why he told her to pull in straight, Courtney reveals that Bradley had told her if he was going to do anything, it would be right there. When he does grab Rebecca, Courtney tries to get him to stop, but she said that he had the knife to Rebecca's throat, and he ordered everyone to get into the white truck. While in the truck, Rebecca slid over to Courtney, asking what was going on, and she said she reassured her that Bradley just wanted to talk. Courtney described that Rebecca was calm after just having a knife held to her throat to get in the truck. That is the end of these documents, the affidavit that was submitted to the court on behalf of the prosecution. It was a lot, and it was pretty heavy, and I'm just curious after hearing all this, and if you know about this case prior, what are your thoughts on it? Who do you believe? Who do you not believe? Do you think there is truth, that there's truth sprinkled in? Just curious to know your thoughts in the comments. And if you have not heard of this case before, make sure that you watch those videos first on my profile and then do these parts in order. Thank you for tuning into The Light. I am grateful that you spent this time with me here and got to learn more about the tragic story of what did happen to Rebecca, and hopefully justice will be served. Now, I'm going to ask something that makes me cringe, but if you wouldn't mind supporting my channel and helping me grow, please give us a like, a repost, and make sure you're following me. It'd be greatly appreciated. Again, what happens in the dark always comes to the light, and I will see you